What up, y'all? It's kind of an early morning this morning, but let's see. So I'm just on here trying to connect some dots. I don't know if anybody else out there could connect some dots with me or not, but if you want to join, join. If not, it's cool. I'll be sitting here. I'm gonna go through some history. Little pretext to my stuff. I've been trying to find the Zionist connection throughout all of it, through the whole setup. Okay, I'm talking from the beginning. Something just doesn't seem right in there where we be. Well, let's just say it, where we are basically fucking the lab rats for Israel. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I highly doubt hardly anybody gonna see this anyways, because the algorithm don't like my shit. They believe that I'm trying to say something or something, I guess. I don't know. They just don't like me talking, so I don't talk too much. But the thing is if we go way back, there's this main family that I keep running into, and I mean, I know everybody knows it, but nobody wants to admit it. But I feel if we do some more research through the Rothschilds, we're going to find a whole lot more than what we've been looking for. And I'm not really trying to do any of this for popularity. I'm trying to do this for everybody to hear, because I feel like y'all should know this. It goes farther than Netanyahu or whoever the fuck that dude is, okay? Way farther. Because it's more than just an Epstein list, if you know what I mean. It's deep, okay? So, in case people don't know, the Rothschild family is basically the richest family in the whole world. So much now that if you go on Google and you research them and you ask what kind of hands the Rothschild family have in the American economic system, and their hands are so deep that they can't touch, or you can't even register how many companies their family is in. Okay? Now, I was doing a little bit of stuff, and there seems to be one particular member that is a part of the big movement nowadays. His name is Baron Edmund D. Rothschild. He's the one who basically supported the whole Jewish settlement into Palestine from the beginning. Okay, now that may not seem like a lot to anybody, but at the end of the day, these guys have had their hand in everything. I'm talking everything. And you know what their main line is? Banking. So our money, our monetary system, is at the forefront of the Rothschilds, who were running Europe way before America. So they got Europe, they got the Middle East, and they have America all under their little belt as to being able to run some shit. Okay, now, all political interests aside, on an economic standpoint, all these battles, they really do, they do effectiveness in the sense of making more money for these people. And why I say back to World War One is that's pretty much where Hitler fucking got his ideology, was from the sediments of World War One and the propaganda that was based against Jews uh, and the Rothschilds. Actually, he had a whole campaign against the Rothschilds because even back then they were a massive ordinance in the banking system. They ran everything. Hey guys, nah, no, not drugs. Mustache, man, I like that. That's good shit. It's too early for some of this stuff. Now listen. Hitler began his conspiracy battles against the Jewish community, which went way out of control. I admit, that's way too much. Just like we are seeing right now, if you really think about it. We're at a standpoint where all sides are seeing very, very extreme views. And at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that's what they want. Okay, it's to them, it's not about red and blue. It's not about the Democratic Party. It's not about the Republican Party. It's not about any of these movements that they're talking about. Because at the end of the core of the whole thing, like I said, sits one family. One family. Now, what is strange about it is the fact of the New World Order that just kind of, I don't know if anybody else notices, but randomly it just gets pushed. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden there's this new influx of videos and commentaries and all kinds of shit about the New World Order again, and the WHO, and what Trump is doing to separate us from the UN, and this and that. But at the end of the day, we are the ones that created the UN. It came from us as an alliance to show that we were going to back people that we felt were running in the same path that we were politically. Now, why is that good and beneficial? Because again, that holds a standard to the monetary. And again, the monetary is ran by the Rothschilds. At the end of it, it all goes back to the Rothschilds. Now, how does this play into the now narrative with Charlie Kirk and all that? May he rest in peace. See, I think that there's more to it. While we're facing and chasing this Epstein list, which I believe is still there, I believe there's more to that too. Don't get me wrong. But on the underlying factor of it has always been money. There's always been a money value. And so, if this company over here, or this family, I should say, owns almost every company in America, and I don't mean own, but they have their hands in it. They put their hands in damn near every fucking business in America. And it's all the way from philanthropy all the way up to motherfucking the medical system everywhere. Okay? It's all over. Technology, all that shit. If we mess with their stuff, which they're Jewish, so they push the Jewish movement, and our narrative is ran under Netanyahu, okay, and they're trying to get us to be with them, All they have to do is hold the control over our money and our economics. And what do the Rothschilds have? A lot of hold and say in that shit. While we sitting here looking at all these little political parties of the problem, the real problem is the source of the program. And that, to me, is the ideology of a new world order. But people think that it's coming. And that's crazy because it's kind of already here. Like I just said, we got this one family that owns lots and lots and lots of motherfucking businesses in the three main capitals of our capital. It's crazy. America, Europe, and the Middle East, they own all that shit, but yet nobody wants to look at them. They want to look at the small party. The Rothschilds were largely apolitical. I don't know what that word means quite, but and focused on banking. Okay? Always focused on banking. Always focused on the money, and in philanthropy and the cultural patronage, something like that. I don't know. Patronage. There we go. Sorry. It's early, guys. I just woke up and got into this, so I don't really. Give me a minute. Now, yesterday I was reading something. Let me see if I can find it again real quick. Maybe it's up farther. They've always been in the background of what this says is Jewish control over finance and politics. And back then in the World War I era, that's basically what was going on. They still had the control over all the fucking money. And here it says they've always tried to keep a political distance. I mean, that's usually what you want when you're in the background and you're running shit. You don't really want a lot of people to know. But they've always held financial power. By the early 1900s, the Rothschilds had established banking branches in major European cities: London, Paris, Vienna, Frankfurt, and Naples. They were deeply embedded in the international finance dealings with government, loans, railways, mining, and oil. So from the very beginning, they had the whole control system. Before they even got to America, they was already running the shit. So it kind of led me to what I've really been focused on lately is the very beginning. Okay, so like I said earlier, what Hitler did was not correct. It was not right. Period. I don't give a shit what anybody says. What he did was horrible. But his underlying topic of why is what I always wanted to understand. Why? People have hatred for people, okay? I mean, that's just the way this fucking world works, and it sucks. But at the end of the day, there has to be a deeper fucking embedding in there. You know what I'm saying? And just what? What was it? It looks to me like he started off fighting the same political battle that everybody else is against the Jewish community. I don't believe it should be at the whole community. Not all Jewish people are bad. Just like not all of anybody is bad. But the upper hands in all of it, they got some explaining to do. You got some explaining to do, Lucy. And see, I don't know if you guys know anything about the Spartacus League or the German Revolution. But a lot of that was from the Jewish party. Let's see if I can find the... Let's see. Prominent Jewish figures. Rosa Luxemburg, co-leader of the Spartacus League and a key figure in the Communist Party of Germany. There's Paul Levi, another Jewish leader, succeeded in Luxembourg in the KPD and tried to steer the party toward more pragmatic socialism. Many Jewish intellectuals and workers were active in socialist, communist, and anarchist circles, especially in Berlin and other urban centers. So, previous to Hitler even doing anything, the Jewish community was already setting its forefront in socialism, anarchist circles. And then again, it's the same thing we're seeing today. There's an uprising in Israel's politics in America that really doesn't concern us, and we don't have a reason for it, but yet here we are just shoveling them all kinds of benefits. Or how about the fact that we give them money just for them to give us that money back for military equipment like tanks and fighter jets? So at the end of the day, we're really not... It sounds like a money washing system, an operation to wash their money of the dirty hands that they put it through while going through the American dollar. Call me crazy, call me what it is, but I'm just connecting dots here. I don't know. Do I know what the Bible is? Yes, I know what the Bible is. Thank you for asking. That's good too. I don't get a dolphin. I don't know what that means. I see the mustache thing, but I don't know what a dolphin means, so you help me out. Geek? I wouldn't call me a geek. I'm just somebody that is interested in this history. I be from the middle of America, sir. Right smack dab in the middle. So, we're going to fly past a little bit of all that Hitler crap and everything, and we're going to go to the Cold War, which, to be honest, guys, I'm a believer that, well, I appreciate it. How do I know this? I'm reading it right now. I'm following the dots. But I just keep this idea, okay? So I don't understand. I don't believe that the Cold War ever really ended because it was too profitable, if you think about it. Because if we're going to continue to build a military, we have to have a war to face. And what longer lasting war than the war that protects Americans? And so we're always on this battle with imperialism to try to protect America against all these terrorists. But given some of the terrorism acts that have happened here in America, on the forefront, we've had light duty compared to a lot of places. I mean, look at the Middle East right now. It fucking gets blown up every other day with new spots, fucking missiles just flying across the fucking skies and shit. And we don't really see that here. But we do see our hand in it all the time. So what is so profitable about us helping other countries stay in war? It's just a little confusing to me. Now, what I do believe is there is a how do I explain it? How do I say it? Give me a second. There's a manufactured assessment of what can keep this up, okay? And so if we always have fear put into us, then we're always willing to fight those fears. Okay, and even if we don't see those fears, we don't want those fears brought to us. So if we could fight them out there, then that's safer for us, right? But at the same time, us as the government, I say us as the government, keeps us as the government keep putting our hands out here into the places that they're not supposed to be, and keep pushing all this money while we losing, we dying. Okay, as an economic system, we dying comparatively. Get away from me. Where is my cat when I need you? Oh, hey there, Mocha. I didn't even know you were still here. Okay, sorry, guys. Again, I don't know what the mushroom or the mustache man, and I don't know what about a dolphin. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? I don't know what you're talking about. Where was I? I don't remember. Okay, we'll go on some more. So we're gonna jump World War II just because we all know how that establishment went, and there's a whole lot of controversy and shit in there that we could go through, but I don't want to get twisted too far. I already like to ramble a little bit, so let's go. Okay. So what kind of impact did the Jewish community have on the Cold War? Because Jews played a multifaceted and often underappreciated role in shaping the Cold War era, politically, intellectually, and culturally. Their impact spanned both sides of the Iron Curtain and influenced everything from espionage and diplomacy to human rights and ideological battles. Many prominent Jewish thinkers shaped the Cold War discourse on totalitarianism, democracy, and liberalism. So basically, it says right here, it says, Jewish immigrants from Eastern Europe, especially those who had fled Stalinism and Nazism, were often vocal critics of Soviet repression. Their expresses lent credibility to anti-communist narratives in the West. So right here, they kind of start changing routes, as you can see, because like I said before, there was a lot of rule for communism and stuff prior to World War II. After World War II, they changed their views a little bit, and they started going anti-communist, which was, quite the same political lineup as America was doing at that time too. What does this mean for us? That means that we start having a tie to them because they're anti-communists, we're anti-communists, and through our imperialism, that's our battle. The battle on terrorism started long before with communism. That's just the gist of that shit. And right here, so post Cold War legacy says Jewish communities in Eastern Europe began to reemerge, and Israel absorbed hundreds of thousands of Soviet Jews. So the Israelis that we see today, in mass majority of them, came from the Soviet Union. They migrated back down there and were placed into Israel, where the Palestinians opened up their doors and said, "Of course, come on in. Let's do this. We love to give you guys a place of sanctuary and help you out, in a time of need." So let's see. Ooh, that's a hard word. I don't think I got it right. All right. During the 19th and early 20th century, Jewish migration to Palestine increased under the banner of Zionism, a movement seeking to establish a Jewish homeland. At the time, Palestine was part of the Ottoman Empire and later under British control, the British Mandate. Some Arab leaders and landowners sold land to Jewish immigrants, and there were periods of coexistence. However, many Palestinians opposed mass Jewish immigration, fearing demographic and political displacement. Tensions escalated in the 20s and 30s, leading to violent clashes. So this again is even prior uh, to the end of the war, really. Many Palestinians opposed mass Jewish immigration, fearing demographic and political displacement. Tensions escalated in the 1920s, leading to violent clashes. So the idea that Palestinians allowed Jewish migration is debated. Some did, some didn't. And many felt that they had little control under colonial rule. In 1948, after the Holocaust and rising global support for Zionism, the UN proposed partitioning Palestine into Jewish and Arab states. Jews accepted, Arab leaders rejected it. War broke out immediately after Israel declared independence. So this is at the beginning, okay? This is right at the start. Zionism has already played a part. Is already starting to play a part with the UN. What's up, baby girl?
I'm hungry.
What time is it? Tell Papa you guys can go ahead and eat some breakfast.
Why are you doing that?
Because I'm talking to people. Talking to people about what's going on in the world.
I want to watch you.
Go eat some breakfast.
Can you say something real quick?
They talk down here.
Can you say something?
I am. They're seeing us talk right now.
Oh.
All right, now go.
Okay, bye.
I love you.
Love you.
Kids. Go eat some breakfast. Okay, so.
The sun's shining.
Yay.
For summer birthday party.
Yeah. All right, I love you. Go eat some breakfast.
I came out here to ask you something, and I see the sun right there, all the way coming past, and then it went back down.
All right.
But it was gonna be here soon.
It's gonna be here soon.
Yeah.
It just had to take a potty break or something. All right, awesome. Love you. So, let's see. All right. So after the Holocaust, rising support of Zionism, Arab leaders rejected it, war broke out, and we all know how that starts. Okay. Around 700,000 Palestinians fled or were expelled during the 1948 war. So literally, they come in, all of a sudden, the UN, us of course, weird, have a say about who's going to stay in this area because, colonialism and imperialism run amok everywhere, and we like to stick our grubby little hands in it as a government. So go ahead and kick out 700,000 Palestinians, go ahead and shove them somewhere else because, the Jewish community needs their homeland back. It's crazy how they think this. The Jewish perspective of it is that they viewed the war as a fight for survival against invading Arab armies. Ironically, invading. But who did the invasion? I mean, ultimately, who did it? I feel that Zionism is a hysteria. Okay, this is some bullshit. They want to tell you that they're afraid of invading Arab armies when they literally got put into their land and invaded and then kicked out 700,000 people, but they're the ones that are afraid of being invaded. It's crazy. Oh man. Can a whole group be narcissistic? Is that like a thing? Is that possible? Oh, wow. America's role in the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, also known as Israel's War of Independence, was indirect but highly influential. While the U.S. did not send troops or directly intervene militarily, its political and diplomatic actions shaped the outcome in significant ways. So let's see. Since America had the immediate recognition of Israel on May 14th, 1948, just minutes after David Ben Gurion declared the establishment of the State of Israel, President Harry Truman officially recognized the new state. Just minutes. Didn't even give it a chance. Just minutes. Hey, yep, you guys are good. Don't worry about that. Isn't that a little odd? Like, and because of our imperialistic power, this gave Israel instant legitimacy on the world stage and encouraged other nations to follow suit. It also boosted morale among Jewish forces and supporters. So, so we imposed an arms embargo on the entire region in 1947, aiming to prevent the escalation of what ended up happening. And instead, the Jewish forces just went through different channels. So to me, it sounds like that the embargo was more of a skilled plot, because then here at the very bottom, some American Jews, just some of them, also helped raise funds and smuggle weapons, just a couple. But they were getting them from the Soviet Union, which was, the communism state, and the country that we have a big fear over now, trying to chain up with China. I mean, let's just say that. Speaking of, have any of y'all ever heard of BRICS? BRICS? It's kind of like the other side of the world's UN. It's not really as big, but economically, it's starting to grow. During the war, so again, we still contain this envelopment. Okay, so when did the Rothschild All right, so back to the Rothschilds, because I can't seem to get past these people. By the early 1800s, the Rothschild had established dominant banking in London and Paris. The Rothschilds were involved in underwriting European loans that indirectly affected American markets. For example, they helped finance European governments whose trade and debt policies impacted U.S. exports and imports. In the mid 1800s, Rothschild agents and affiliates invested in American railroads and infrastructure projects, often through European intermediaries or partnerships with American banks. So right then and there, they have already started just embedding themselves in the core infrastructure of our whole United States. Okay. Some direct engagements would include August Belmont, a key figure in Rothschild American relations. Belmont was the Rothschilds' agent in New York, representing the family's financial interest in the U.S. starting in the 1830s. So, that only leads me to believe that by the time the Cold War had started, the Rothschilds was very, very enveloped in our economic system, which means what's good for them or what's good for us building money and making money is good for them. You see what I'm saying? It's always a money scheme. There's always a plot for money behind the whole thing. This has never been about colors or races or anything. It's always been about the money. Because if they have money, then they can live freely. You know what I'm saying? Nobody lives free unless you have all the money. And who seems to always have all the money at the end of the day? It ain't even our governments, because we're all so far behind in fucking whatever national debt we want to call ourselves. This is beyond control. This is beyond control, guys. Quite literally, the Rothschilds are the major factor in all of this hysteria. Okay, so and see here, they've always done it so behind the scenes, especially in America. Unlike in Europe, the Rothschilds never established a formal banking house in the U.S. Their influence was symbolic of global finance and often exaggerated by conspiracy theories. That's call me what you want. I'm just connecting dots. That's all I'm doing. They were respected by the American elites, but also vilified by populist and anti-Semitic propagandists who saw them as emblematic of foreign control. Okay, so what that means is, even back then, the people seen that with their economic stance, they have so much control over what is said and what is done. And they don't have to be on the front line for it. Because if they don't like it, they can just pull their money out of it. Because their money operates this whole motherfucking shit. Right, their actual role was more about global financial interconnectivity. It's never been about America. It's never been about Europe. It's never been about the Middle East. It's been about creating such an environment that we need a safe net. And what that safe net is the political agenda that they've already placed in front of us. They want us controlled under one order. Whether we believe it or not, because we have our separate divisions and beliefs, Their ideology is to control us with their one government and let us believe that we are divided. Because as a whole, they know they can't control us. The whole problem with it all is that money is never needed for survival. Only in today's society is that the case because they've placed a tax or a monetary value on everything. But at the end of the day, it's just a piece of paper. And it's a piece of paper that's starting to cost more to make than it is to spend. Which is why we are collapsing. Oh, God. Got a news update. Apparently Trump trying to talk fucking Gaza Strip shit again. Lord knows anything comes out that man's mouth is just bullshit. What? Hey there. What?
I'm tummy hurts.
Did you eat your cereal? Yeah, go ahead.
I got it too blue, but I couldn't finish my second bowl.
Yeah, that's probably why your tummy hurts. You shouldn't have had the second bowl, baby. How about you go in there and put the heating pad on it for a little bit and let it relax your tummy, okay?
Where is it?
Mocha, look. Mocha.
Where is it?
It should be behind the couch. Where did my cigarettes? Alright, so back to this. I can show you how their influence compares to other banking dynasties or explore how it's evolved in American populist movements. I'm quite curious. Let's hear some more about these myths. These myths from the Rothschild family. You know, I wonder if we could take this all the way back to biblical days. That would be crazy. And yes, I'm aware that you can't find the Rothschild family in the Bible. Maybe. Okay. All right, so let's see if they can debunk some myths for us. They give us the myths and then they give us some reality of it. So let's see what parts together, pieces in together. The Rothschilds secretly own or control the Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, and most central banks worldwide. The reality of it is, the Rothschild banking houses were influential in the 19th century, especially in Europe, but they never owned or controlled central banks. Quote unquote controlled. The Federal Reserve is a public private institution governed by law and oversight, not by any single family. Great. First of all, you can't have a private public institution. That doesn't make no fucking sense. It's either public or it's private. But you do know what is private? The Rothschild's banking account. You can no longer see what their net worth is in their personal Rothschild account. You could see all the other ones, all the ones that they have their hands in, if you can keep up with it. But their actual bank account, you cannot find the total for because they went to court and got it privated. What a privilege. Oh, there's a claim that the Rothschilds profit from war by financing both sides. Napoleon versus Britain, Axis versus Allies, etc. This myth emerged from their role in financing governments during the Napoleonic Wars, particularly Britain. I'm just saying it doesn't sound like much of a myth or a claim if they were having a role in their finances. I'm just saying. While they did help fund war efforts, as many banks did, the idea of orchestrating wars for profit is a distortion. Is it though? Is it? It plays in the anti-Semitic tropes of Jews as manipulative warmongers. See, and that's where they get it wrong. It's not all Jewish communities. It's just the upper government, just like ours. Us regular Americans sitting out here every day trying to just make a fucking living wage to survive, to pay our bills, while our government's over here fiddling with money with motherfucking the Israeli government just feeding them shit. Look how prosperous they are while we struggle. We got so many cities now that have warehouse areas that are just completely abandoned. Not just warehouses, the areas. The whole fucking area. But it's okay because we got to restructure the bombings that they did over there with our fucking shit. It's fucking retarded. The whole fucking thing. Oh, look, and they also they're not they don't get anything out of war. They don't get nothing. They always just promote peace. You know what? Let's go back up to this one dude. Let's go find out more about him. Let's go find out more about the Rothschild family members that initiated some shit. What?
Papa turning the heating pad off.
Huh?
Papa turning.
He turned it off?
And I turned it back on though, but he kept turning it on.
Well, come on.
Are you going to?
I'll come look at it with you. I'll make sure you do that. I'll be right back, y'all. Hey guys, I'm back. All right, let's see. Where was I? Oh yeah, we were looking for this guy. I gotta go way back. Hold on. Here we go. Let's find some more out about him. No, inside. Inside.
I want you.
We'll be in just a little bit. Go.
I
Go.
want
Hey, I need you to go in there and help Papa pick up the living room so we can get the Halloween stuff out.
When?
As soon as the living room gets picked up.
So is tomorrow Halloween? Because I really want it to be.
No, Halloween is October 31st, honey. I know. Horrible lives. Why would you want Halloween to be tomorrow when we haven't even got your costumes yet?
I want to wear our costumes.
Well, we have to get them, honey.
Can we get them?
We will get them.
What? Halloween?
Before Halloween, yes. You have to get them before Halloween.
Can I get them now?
No, we can't get them right now.
Why?
Because we can't get them right now.
Why?
Because we can't.
Why? Tell me why.
Because I don't want to.
Why?
I don't have to give you a reason, honey. We can't get them right this second. It's going to be okay. You will have them before Halloween. But I need you to go in there and help Papa clean up so we can get the Halloween decorations out.
Can I help?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Like help you get up.
With the decorations?
Yeah.
Yes,
Look.
but I need you to go in there and get the living room picked up so we can get all the stuff out. You're such a dork. Go get the living room picked up.
What do my friends need?
Go. Take your wobbly fingers in there with you. You drive me nuts, kid.
Okay, bye.
Love you. See what they say. All right. Edmund James D. Rothschild, member of the South French branch of the Rothschild banking dynasty, often called, I'm gonna slaughter that, Hanadiv Hayaduya. It means the known benefactor in Hebrew. Oh, he played a pretty big part. Rothschild began funding Jewish agriculture colonies in Ottoman Palestine starting in the 1880s. He supported settlements like Rishon LeZion Rashawn Lezion, Zikron, Yaakov, I'm killing these names, just so you know, and Rosh Pina, which were struggling due to harsh conditions and lack of infrastructure. So again, they placed their infrastructure abilities into another economy. His funding covered large land purchases, equipment, irrigation systems, and training in modern farming techniques. So already they're putting their position in there with him in the 1880s in Palestine and getting land and equipment, which means they're ultimately building an economy there, which they had already started doing here too, and in Europe. Creation of the Palestine Jewish Colonization Association. I got some big names for this stuff. In 1924, Rothschild transferred his operations to the PJCA to ensure long-term stability. The PJCA managed land, agriculture development, and community planning. He also helped establish Israel's wine industry, notably through the Carmel Winery. He also funded schools, hospitals, research institutions, laying the groundwork for modern civil society. So, infrastructure built in already, but he sticks into the background because all these other companies are actually doing it. And although they was from the French branch of the dynasty, he was buried in the settlement, in one of the first settlements that he supported, Ramat Hanadev. I don't know, guys. I don't know the name of these things. I can't read. Not those names. I don't know. It's not English. Okay. All right, so here comes the Zionist movement right here. John Baron Edmund D. Rothschild and Theodore Herzl were two towering figures in the early Zionist movement, but they had very different visions for the Jewish return to the Palestine. The Rothschild believed in a quiet agricultural revival of Jewish life in Palestine. He wasn't a political Zionist, but saw the land as a refuge and a cultural home. Sounds like a pretty nice guy right there. Starting in the 1880s, he financed struggling Jewish agricultural colonies. Again, he introduced modern farming techniques, irrigation, and even helped launch Israel's wine industry. And in 24, he transferred his operations to the body to ensure law to the PJCA, blah, blah, blah. Rothschild laid the physical and economic foundation for Jewish life in Palestine. The physical and economic foundation. So the Rothschilds built the foundation for the Jewish life in the Middle East. I mean, why not? They already had Europe. Now, Theodore was the father of political Zionism, and he believed Jews needed a sovereign state to escape anti-Semitism and persecution. He authored the Der Judenstat, argued that Jews needed a state of their own, not just cultural anatomy or autonomy. He was the founder of the World Zionist Organization in 1897 and organized the first Zionist Congress in Basel, Switzerland. Back to Switzerland. Diplomatic efforts met with world leaders including the Ottoman Sultan and British officials to secure a charter for a Jewish homeland. His vision led directly to the political mobilization that culminated in the creation of Israel in 1948. And he is buried in Jerusalem, a national symbol of the Zionist aspiration. Right here, it kind of sums it up greatly, honestly. Together, the Rothschild and Herzl represent two essential pillars of Zionism: the land and the idea. Rothschilds built the soil, and the Herzl built the dream. If you'd like, I could show you the visions covered or clashed. I don't need that. Those aren't even a part of the people. But again, we establish another route where they are at the basis. You know what I'm saying? They're at the basic of our infrastructure. They're at the basics of Middle Eastern's infrastructure. They run the standard of the European banking system, whether they want to admit that or not. Name one banking company that has the legacy that they hold. Name one, and I'll agree with you. We'll see. Show me the facts of that one. Oh, where's my other one? Oh, I think the kids got it. Okay. Maybe I can go into here. Give me just a second. Yes, it is mine. So. And of course, they want to show me all my cool stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what operation I'm trying to look up. There's a particular operation that kind of flies past all of this, leads us into well, it's at the tip of the Cold War. It's at the very end of the Cold War, and iconically or ironically, I believe it is. Uh, There we go. Operation Northwoods. So Operation Northwoods was a plot at the end of the Cold War, or towards the end of the Cold War, with around the same time as the Cuban Missile Crisis. Okay. And it laid out a pretty dramatic plan that our government had made to secure a stance or a standard in the war with Cuba. Okay. And what this operation entailed was basically lying to the American people and creating a tragedy that would push the narrative to fight against the governments that our government wished to fight against. Now, I'll elaborate just a little bit more. I'm only going to be on here for a little bit more, and then we'll start back up here in another day or two. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Operation Northwoods was a top secret U.S. military proposal drafted in 1962 that aimed to justify war against Cuba through false flags operations. Acts of deception designed to make it appear as though Cuba had attacked the United States. Okay. It was drafted by the U.S. Department of Defense and Joint Chiefs of Staff, led by General Lyman Lemnitzer. Okay, top people, top of the top people in our military branch set this operation up, or they proposed that this operation happen. Okay, and like I said, this was for Cuba. Their purpose was to create public and international support for military intervention in Cuba, which had become a Soviet ally under Fidel Castro. Okay, their key tactics that they proposed to do. Okay, they first wanted to start by staging fake attacks on U.S. soil and blaming Cuba, followed by hijacking or crashing planes and making it look like Cuban aggression. And then they were going to also, if that didn't work, they were going to go ahead and sink some boats of Cuban refugees to provoke an outrage. And then last but not least, simulate funerals and media manipulation to stir public emotion. Okay. Kennedy didn't want to do it. He rejected that plan. He said he was weary of escalating tensions with Cuba and the Soviet Union, especially after the failed Bay of Pigs invasion. So Kennedy said, "No, we're not going to do this shit." You know what I'm saying? Hell no. We already done fumbled the ball. We done messed up. We don't need to make it worse than what it already is by making it worse for our own people. Quick. So what did they do as the government? Because, if this president doesn't want to take hands, let's just go ahead and kick it out. So the proposal was buried and never acted upon. They removed the general as chairman of the Joint Chiefs. So they took him down. Take your ass now. Go. I know you do. And I told you, did you get the living room clean?
Nope.
Go get it clean. Huh?
I didn't make the mess.
Go in there, get it all picked up. You don't have to, but you can ask him politely.
Only if you do most of the work.
So get in there.
What are you gonna do
Come on.
pick up the living room?
we're gonna get the Halloween stuff out, but I need you guys to go clean up the living room so I have somewhere to put all the Halloween stuff so we can go through it.
I told you.
Yeah, well, it wasn't hurting enough for you to run out here and act a fool.
Well, if I clean up fast,
for
a little bit, then I cover my heart.
Okay, well, just clean up medium, and then your tummy will be able to react better, okay? Love you.
Love you. Bye, the Halloween stuff.
Love you.
Love you. So they buried it, put it down into the files, and actually didn't even release it for... Let's see, it was 60s, so 30-some years. They did it for 30-something years, okay? And then they released the files. So they ended up releasing the files when they released the John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Review Board. Or thanks to the efforts of the John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Review Board. In their reviews, they were trying to find what was going on, and they found out some other shit. But what I'm saying is, don't those tactics seem familiar for at least my generation of people? With all the conspiracies going around about 9/11 and everything else, and how it's just continuously escalated since then and gotten worse, especially in the Middle East. So where I'm going to leave it for today, and we'll get back again, like I said, is just consider this for a second. And it's that why all of us down here on the ground in our own homelands struggle to survive on a daily basis, and yet divide ourselves up through these colors and races and political views of everything. Just step back for just a second and look and see if you can't find the dots that are connecting all of them together to create one unity against our unity. There's a bigger battle here. And if we don't stand up, we're going to fall just like the rest of the empires have. There's one thing that shows in history, and that's once an empire gets too big, it collapses upon itself. So, for today, y'all, have a good one. Do your research and see if we can connect some dots.